How's it? Hang loose. And welcome to another edition of Newspaper. Mongooze Max Hawaii. Yeah. We're turned into newspaper and talk story. But that's okay. That's what half the commentary is anyways. Doesn't matter. At least I don't have to say vlog. Maybe I'll start, maybe not. Anyways, yeah, Mongooze Max, we're trying to, me, myself, and all my invisible friends out there. No, thanks for new subscribers. Please subscribe, it's free. And click like buttons, share videos with your friends. Mongooze Max invasion! Because I am the invasive species. Mongooze Max theme. I think I know what I'm talking about, but actually you don't. I think I'm bigger than something, but there's something always bigger than me. Mongooze Max. What's down here? Yes, there's a 5, almost 4.8. That's a Richter scale earthquake, Big Island. Richter scale is also exponential. So 4.8 and a 5 is different, big time. But it's 4.8 because it's a volcano and it does its rock and roll, and that's it. That's what it does. It's a volcano. It's active. And there's also the big Madame Pele. You know, she was, according to King Kalakaua, she was an actual person. It came from South Pacific. Everyone's got it down as legend and all this goddess. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna look at some stuff today. Dodging Douglas. Yes. Yesterday was the big hurricane day, Hurricane Douglas, and I don't know. It's Douglas turned into Doubtless. I don't know. Dug out, I don't know. And basically puttered out into nothing, according to the place where I'm at here. On Kauai, you know, they got flooding, and they're always going to have, that's the wettest place on earth, Kauai. So Kauai's got some stuff, their unique problem that they have with a lot of flooding. Big Island, nothing. You know, they even took off the warning. Before it even got here, they're taking off hurricane, storm watch, they're taking all that on surfing. Yeah. Rain. Maui, big. I'm a little bit more rain than they restricted. Off all the warning. By them. There's this waterman is a guy with a lot of water experiments. You know, lifeguard, waves, rain. So they call them watermen, right? Big Duke Hanamoku or lineage. They probably trace their lineage back to the Duke, but not really. But they're watermen. It's a unique, elite, it's like special forces for surfers. So I use that word lightly or cautiously. Now, with due respects, I think the guy is a waterman and he's very experienced in lifeguard. I don't doubt that. But he was interviewed by the woman on the street news reporting, and he says, he's out there, "What are you doing on the beach today?" She asks. He says, "I'm just checking out the waves because I can tell by the conditions because I'm listening to this blub. I mean, he's all his expertise, right? I'm a waterman. He's an expert. And then after that, he goes, "I think everybody else should stop listening to the experts and just think for themselves and just, do it, And then he starts going off on something, and she's like, "Give me the mic back." "Well, thank you. Could you stand?" She says, Could you stand away so I can take off my mask?" This is perfect, sly. And then she takes off her mask. She's like, "Well, I don't recommend the part where you don't listen to experts." Absolutely, kiddies. Listen to Mongooze Max, because he definitely doesn't know what he's talking about. That's why. Now, here, I'll tell you. We're going to bust out the old sociology, psychology, all that stuff. Okay, look. Here's the diagram, right? Here is the brain. The frontal lobe, the occipital lobe with the eyeballs. That's the brain. And that is the brain. The brain, not to be confused with the mind. The mind. Or the subconscious, not to be confused with the unconscious. Even though in Carl Jungian stuff, the unconscious, he means the subconscious. And then there's the collective subconscious, but we're not going Carl Jung here. We're going, think on your own. Yeah, that part I say yes. But how do we think, decide, and then act? Think before you act. Some people don't even think, they just act. That's called impulsive. And it gets a lot of people into a lot of problems. But how do you think? Well, you use your brain, right? Oh, okay. More than that. Because inside here, there's a storage, right? So you have information, right? Info goes in through your eyeballs, your ears, and you have information in the brain. So you have facts, figures, data, stuff you heard. Might be true. You got to discern if it is or if it's true, good source. But info is not the same as knowledge. Knowledge is a little bit like, what do you do with those facts? You got to piece them together. You got to kind of go the next level from facts and figures, go into knowledge. But knowledge isn't everything, right? Because you can know stuff, and I know what that is, and there's some experience, right? Knowledge, experiences. Because experiences, you have memory. There's not just there's the fond memories. Oh, what a beautiful sense of a fun time. Notice that if you think about the past, you remember the good times a lot. Usually, I remember all the good times. So the past it was so good back in the 1950s. It was such, World War II was such a great time. Memory. Some people get focused on the bad memories, and then it's a problem, because then all you think about is bad memories. But experiences go into the memory bank, and through experiences, knowledge, and information, you think. And then you decide. So you make a choice, where you have free will. Now, free will is important. When someone starts messing with your free will, that's bad. So think for yourself after gathering all this information, and then you decide. You decide. And then what you do when you act, you are responsible. So, if you choose not to listen to the information given to you by the experts, decide to go out into the storming surf water, you're responsible for your own actions, as if you get smushed by the waves and stuff like that. But when they come rescue you, right, that's a lot of resources they're using up, and they could be rescuing a real person instead of you, which is you didn't think before you acted. Anyways, that's a little thinking before you act. Funny how that guy says, I'm a waterman. Don't listen to the experts. Hell, man, I'd rather listen to Dr. Fauci than you, buddy. Or the guy saying, hey, man, I'd rather listen to the meteorologist. But Douglas didn't come by, because on its own natural trajectory, it went a little bit north and missed us. That's funny. I don't know, it's just me. It's just... But here's the news guy, weather guy. The hurricane doesn't show up. So what does he do? Well, he starts saying, well, to the audience in general who's watching the television, well, I can take the heat. I can take the ribbon. I can take the blame. I can take the fault for the hurricane not showing up. What? He's going, I would rather that I predicted that the hurricane's getting close and have everybody shelter than for me to say otherwise, and you know, people are open. So he kept going on over and over. I mean, he said it once, it's like, say it once, roll the eyes. But then over and over. I can take the blame for the hurricane not arriving. No, you can't, buddy. The hurricane did its own thing. It's called nature, Mother Nature, creation, God's creation, nature. It's doing what it's doing. Physics, meteorology, atmospheric pressure, heat, temperature, winds is doing what it's doing. There's no fault that you can claim. But he's like, I can take the blame. Blame me for the hurricane not arriving. Because deep down in my side, I'm telling it to you folk. So you stay shelter. Because, man, other people are, you know, more akamai. They're going, hey, you know, it's a good practice run. Because this is just storm 1 of 6 predicted. Great. Welcome to hurricane season. This is even out of season. Yeah, take a deep breath. Meditate on the eye of the storm. Now, whatever. Good. Everyone sheltered down. Everyone got ready. Everyone got scared and, you know, locked up and boarded up. Good. I go by the Boy Scout because what's a Boy Scout? Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Live up to that and be there. There's an expert. But Boy Scout, be prepared. That's it. I'll say it again because it's worth saying again. Be prepared. And that's that. Alright. Now on to the other stuff, which is basically virus related. Holy crap. I'll try to be brief. You've heard this probably all before, but we got 64 cases, so we got so many more cases again. Like 4 days in a row, high number for this place. So whether they push back reopening is still a question. That's whether they're going to go mandate, lockdown further, tighten it, is still a question. But in the meantime, everyone's making their decisions. They think of information and their own memory. Oh, there's other stuff that influences the mind, right? Where you go. And then they make their choice, and then they make their decision. But whatever decision you make, you are responsible. You know? The plague. Or well, some of its Spain's best beaches, like Barcelona. Barcelona beaches. Barcelona nightclub, bars, beaches. Spain's most beloved weather vacations. Bars and beaches. Here comes summer. So now the country Spain is negotiating with another country about lifting the quarantine ban. So this 14-day quarantine travel is international. Of course, it's the norm, you know, gestation period of symptoms, but it's a norm everywhere. So that's international. It's just a fact. But it's now an international point of negotiation. So it has international political stuff going on. France says there's no need yet to shut its border with Spain. So France is like, yeah, with the fig, yeah. We are liberté, brother, fraternité, equalité, liberté. France. France. We lose all the wars, but we don't give one. And the Foucault, Michael Foucault, we don't give a Michael Foucault because we don't have a Michael Foucault. France says there's no border yet. Oh, God. So combined with 4.2 million tourists to Spain in August, UK and France both. 4.2 million people. Millions. 4.2 billion people. Oh, brother. And I don't think that's the zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse, I'm referring that is more like people's irrational reaction. Zombie apocalypse is like they see all this corona stuff and they get scared. They don't know what to do, but they want to ignore it or say it can't happen here. And the reaction turns into, we're buying guns, not masks. Instead of buying masks, they're buying guns. That's the zombie apocalypse. Another side note of zombie apocalypse. People are buying less deodorant because of the virus. I shaved. Shirt's clean. But I can admit, I got some unclean shirts. I haven't done my laundry. I'm going to need that for the hurricane. But deodorant went down and ice cream went up. So everyone's at home with their bucket of ice cream, watching the news, trying to comfort food it. Watching the news. Watch Mongooze Monday, man. We'll make fun of the news. We make fun of everything. Speaking of making fun of everything, back to school. I was gonna be a biology major. I did a big thing with geology, and I was thinking I learned, oh God, and then I wound up in anthropology. And I was back in I was back in Honolulu, anthropology. The little small Catholic school wasn't prepared for it. So I went up sociology, so I wound up with sociology. I would have made big bucks in the 50s, but not now. Yeah. But sociology deals with all kinds of institutional groupings of garbage. All the horrible stuff like racism, social problems, crime. That's why that place had sociology, because they were into criminology. And I was like this close to being like, see murder detective. Elementary, my dear Watson. The fucker's dead, and somebody killed him. Damn it. Yeah, there was blood everywhere. Well, it wasn't natural causes. So I'm gonna look at this one here. Oh, do I dare? Here's a letter to the editor. Let's stop identifying ourselves by our race. Quickie lesson is race comes down to anthropology. That's where it comes from. They went around into the whole world, and they, in a certain part of anthropology, they analyze. I don't have my little plastic skulls handy. They analyze the metrics of the skull, the cranium, the bone in your head, your bone head, the head bone. They analyze the shape of it, craniometrics. And there's different shapes. There's the Negroid shape, the Asian shape, the Caucasian shape, and there's different shapes. There's distinct shapes. So if you found the skull, you could tell what the person was, because they're interested in where they came from in migration. There's where race started. Now, if someone picks this idea up of anthropology and starts going, we're all different races, so now we're a label, you're that, and I'm this, and that's like social, right? Socialization of craniometrics in a bad way. But they used this in social Darwinism. It has nothing to do with Darwinism. They took Darwin's theory and they just turned it into a fascist thing. Social Darwinism has nothing to do with Darwinism. It's about fascism. Might makes right. That's what it's about. It's pro-bully. So you get something that's pro-bully, and you have something that puts labels, racism, and that's where you get this root of this stuff. It goes all over the place, and people are just me and mine and us and them. So you get away from the us and them thinking. You're in a good zone. But let's look at the facts. We can call Barack Obama a hapa, which means half, one half in Hawaiian, half haole, call Barack Obama a hopaholi and be wrong? No, because technically he's half haole. His mother was Caucasian. His father was from Africa, Negroid, African, Caucasian, haole, half-half, mother, father. So he's half-half. But in Hawaiian, they wouldn't say hapa haole so much. Not really. They just go hapa. It's like poi dog. You're half of that. Are you haole? No, I'm hapa. Oh, so you're hapa haole. You're half haole. You don't go around saying I'm half haole. Plus, it does matter how you say haole. It's haole, haole, the haole guy, or haole. Come on, haole. It matters how you say it. See, but haole itself is nothing. It's kind of like whitey, or see, whitey sort of got a connotation going on. White person, Caucasian. See, I get the thing. I don't like putting white. I have to. There's a little thing in the forms. Anyways, is he half? Yeah, he's hapa. He's half-half. Half this, half that. So he'd be hapa. That's the way to say it. Hapa haole. Would it be? Technically, that's correct. Now, I remember when he was running for office. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about all the good stuff he did, and I'm going to be like political. I'm just saying, when he was running for office, I noticed that there was a lot of African Americans, right? Black people in America. And they have a lot of issues that they want to bring forth and have addressed. Because they have definitely social conditions in their areas, and they want it to be addressed and not ignored, or them being forgot. Shoot. Oh, I hope that. Oh God, I did the little blessing and the. Oh God, I hope the audio works. Anyways, back to the race issue. Racism. Okay, so Native people, Black Americans in the USA, right? Well, I guess they can go outside the USA, but the ones here that have issues they want to address in, so you know, they have an equal chance like everyone else, because there's all these new ideas of, well, there's new labels to old things, and there's white privilege, and there's discrimination, reverse discrimination. There's all these labels, right, of ideas of trends, and basically they want to address that their problems are met by the government and not, so it's in law about not discriminating stuff. I mean, if you want to be a racist in your heart, that's, I don't know, everyone has the right to choose to be a dick, I suppose. Anyways, that's the difference between heaven and hell. Who would you want to hang around? You're not going to hang around them fucking dicks. That would be hell. People you want to hang around, that would be heaven. There's a little clue. I was meditating on that, contemplating. But when you have issues like that, then you want to be, well, see how I'm being careful? I'm not talking about it. I'm hedging and walking on eggshells. That's the problem. That's what interrupts dialogue about it. It interrupts communication about it. If you have communication, then you can have solutions, push towards solutions that are applied to such societal problems. So it's not ingrained in our governmental institution, and as someone in society, we can go, yeah, our government's like that, and identify with that government, so I want to be like that, and then people will be less dickish. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a teacher anymore. Anyhow, yeah, it's an ongoing thing, and it's going to be ongoing. It's not going to be solved by riots for sure. So, how that stuff comes about is when they started political correctness, right? Before in Hawaii, everyone's different races. Hawaii's a unique thing. And let me conclude that story before I get on tangents. Barry. Yes, Barack in high school, everyone called him Barry. I guess you can tease him now because he's all successfully retired. But in high school, it was Barry. Barry. There's Barry. So what? There's Barry. Kind of goofy. Oh, Barry. Everyone's goofy in high school. Everyone has their quirky. And I was definitely a weird quirk. But just another guy. He writes a biography about, maybe it was all internal, so grant you that. But, oh, I suffered my identity crisis about my race and all this. And my take on that is he wrote that book because it was a political move, like a promotional move. Because if he suffered like other people suffer, then they'll identify with him and vote for him. As in, the other black Americans will like vote for him because he's a black American that suffered like them, and he is a leader of them. So it just fits so well. So he writes this thing about how he was, in high school days, and then doesn't talk to people in high school except for a couple friends. Of course, who would, right? Losers. You at that high school. It was a great high school too, though. So, buff and blue. But anyways, other black Americans called him out and said, Barack Obama is not a person who experienced black America. Kind of meaning that blacks in America suffered situations from society and the government and people. They suffered stuff, and it has a long root, right? Long back history. But they actually suffered. They actually live in that problematic condition that they're working for a solution towards. Barry did not. And Barry isn't black American. He's basically Hapa. He's half African. His father was from Africa, not from the U.S. So his father was an African man. And so Barry is half African, half Caucasian. Hapa, half-half. But he's not black American because he didn't really have the black experience of America. And then they called him out on that, and they brushed it over. So, not giving fuel for Republicans, because I don't agree with what they're doing nowadays. I'm not a political party guy. I think both of them are in the head. So, there's different angles to the situation. So when this guy's like saying, oh yeah, different minute things like what, genetic? Yeah, well, genetics here. You're 50% the same genetics as a banana. And 98% the same genetics as a chimpanzee. And that goes for every human being on the planet Earth. I'm not being facetious. I am being factual. You have 50% the same DNA as a banana. Mana mana do 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 do. Mana mana do do do. Obama could have chosen to emphasize as being white or Howie, but he chose to identify himself with black American experience. Much to the chagrin of other black Americans. It was racism that determined that if you were even 1% black, you were black. Who gives a rat? It's like 1%, 99%. That's what you're talking. So, who's got the money, buddy? Bunny? Who's got the money, bunny? That's what really matters. Who's got the money, bunny? Race and racism are crazy and distorted concepts that deserve to die. Maybe when we quit primarily identifying ourselves with one race or another, identifying yourselves. Don't unidentify yourself with your generic heritage, the actual factual of who you are. I'm half Italian, which means that my part of Italian goes to outside of basically the marble places of Rome. So, I'm genetically half Roman. And this was written by one guy named Roman. And Romans weren't all one race. Ask a Roman in ancient times. Time machine. It's like Honolulu. It's like all different kind. Ancient Rome. Reason, when you stop identify for who you are, man. Be okay with who you are, not a vain dick. What Martin Luther King Jr. said, it's starting to come true. We can all start judging each other by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin. Well, unfocus yourself on the color of the skin, my friend, and focus on the word character. Because even the most beautiful people, men and women, just so beautiful, oh, so beautiful. But when they're a dick, fuck them. It's because it's character. You know, a long time ago, in high school, we had Bruce Jenner, when he was Mr. Bruce Jenner. I got his autograph, and I did. I gave it away to this Canadian guy. And then we had Reggie Jackson, famous baseball. We're canceling baseball. Famous baseball, Reggie Jackson. And he was swinging his bat. He was all by himself. He was like swinging a couple bats back and forth, like stretching out. And I went up to him. You know, I wasn't a big baseball, but he was Major League Baseball guy, famous. I went up to him and asked for an autograph. I got, what is it? The guy, someone Rice, football. Alan Rice, football, and Bruce Jenner at the shot put, because I was a shot putter. Hey, you're in my shot put. Bruce Jenner is in my shot put ring. Well, can I have your autograph? And get him comes. Sucker for fame. But here's Reggie Jackson off to the side. I go up to Reggie Jackson and I say, "Sir, can I have your autograph?" And he just looked at me with his brushy mustache. He looked at me and he's like, "No." Whoa. That was the reaction. I walked away from that and I was like, Major League Baseball players are a-holes. Fuck Reggie Jackson. That's the fan reaction I walked away with. Because his character at the time decided to just, some kid coming up asking for an autograph. And he just, so, color of his skin. We are all born equal. Babies. All men are created equal. We are created babies. And your character development is your responsibility afterwards. I'm so moral today. Yes, manamana. I'm half banana. The other half is Roman. I'm a Roman banana. A Roman banana. Get over yourselves. I'm trying to get over myself. Hang loose. Aloha.